episode 71 of I Know What We Watched Last Week, and it's the second festive special in a row. And let me just say, I am excited.
What, about the movies or about Christmas?
The movies. The movies really put me in the Christmas spirit.
I'm excited for Christmas, as you can maybe tell. But yeah, the movies were not too bad.
Fascinating.
One of them was...
Genre,
yeah.
classics.
One of them had you cracking up the most. I've seen you crack up probably all year. You were dying. So, shall I begin?
If you can remember what we watched for once, yes.
I believe it was Silent Night, Violent Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh, Deadly Night.
Silent
yeah.
Night.
Oh, sorry. That was me being violent. So Silent Night, Deadly Night.
From 1984, the original. We watched the remake last year and reviewed it.
Oh, we did?
But the scenes
was that
are
the
in,
guy
are in
with the
different order.
blowtorch fire thing?
I'm pretty sure that Malcolm McDowell was in it.
Right. We then saw Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, the follow-up, of course. And we finished with a British horror flick, also from the 80s, I think.
Yep, same year as Silent Night, Deadly Night, 84.
Which was Don't Open Till Christmas.
Don't do it, you know.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Though I've now got 2 Christmases because you're European, so open presents on the 24th and the 25th. So what one am I supposed to pay attention to about Don't Open Till Christmas?
Well, that's why I actually asked you earlier. I was like, is baby Jesus bringing me presents this year, or is it Santa Claus?
In what culture does baby Jesus fly around giving people presents coming down chimneys?
Well, certainly at least in
Swedish or German?
Because that's what my mum raised me with, was German Christmas, and it was always their Christkind. And there would be like a little ringing on the door in the evening when he's been to deliver your presents.
He just knocks on your door?
No. When the presents have been delivered,
right,
the bell will ring, and then you know it's time to go and
so he does
get
like
your gifts.
Ding Dong Ditch, where he leaves the presents, knocks on the door and runs away.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's supposedly going around with some big sack as well.
Sack.
Like Santa.
Magical sack.
I've never really asked that much about it, but yeah.
So your Christmas wasn't ruined then by being told that Santa Claus isn't real, because I assume your mum didn't say, or you didn't come to your own conclusions that baby Jesus isn't real or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it was
as a
quite
Christmas present deliverer
very early on that baby Jesus was not flitting about the skies dropping presents into our homes.
That's pretty cool if he's a baby.
Anyway. I also caught my mum once going into the cupboard at night to get presents out when the Tooth Fairy was supposed to visit me, so...
What did the Tooth Fairy bring you? I used to get like £1 coins or £2 coins.
Yeah, we didn't. We got like little like pound shop toys and gifts, but like the only one I really remember was the crappiest thing ever. It was one of those like pocket holder things that you put on the back of a car seat in front of you, so you could put things in it.
That doesn't sound.
And I was like, I don't know, 6.
That doesn't sound
like
exciting fun for a child. That's not a good present. But talking about good presents, these 3 movies. Let's hear you rank them. 3, 2, 1.
Third place.
I don't know what you're going to go with.
Is no brainer for me anyway. I think it might be harder for you. It was Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Then I'm gonna have to go with Don't Open Till Christmas in second, and first place to Silent Night, Deadly Night original.
I've gone in third place, Silent Night, Deadly Night. In second place,
you idiot,
an improvement, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2.
No.
And at number 1,
no.
Doing it for the Brits, Don't Open Till Christmas, baby.
Dear God, I wonder if anybody else out there in the entire world would agree with your rankings.
Well, it's not. I haven't put...
That is so off.
Silent Night, Deadly Night in third place because I don't like it. I liked all the movies.
Yeah.
I liked all the films. In fact, when we watched Silent Night, Deadly Night, because we watched that first, I was like, well, it's going to take some beat in this because it's pretty good. So we're going to start, of course, with my third place, your top pick, Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original.
Well, actually,
classic.
that helps with the order, because if we went in my order, it would be very confusing. We have to do this one first before going to number 2.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I guess you do, actually, yeah.
So I hadn't... had you seen this before?
Sort
I haven't
of.
seen this before. You sort of seen it.
Oh, no, I'd seen this. I'm talking about sort of that you have to have seen it in order.
Okay.
Yeah, I had seen this once before, but I was young, and I didn't remember a lot of it.
So this one, the first, like, intro to the story, I suppose, I thought was amazing. It really got me. It got to me.
Let's get to the opening. It's Christmas Eve, 1971. There's a family driving in a car. Mum, Dad, and the child Billy, and they're going to visit catatonic grandpa, which is a drag because no one wants to go and see their grandpa or their parents on Christmas Eve.
But it also sounds like it's like 5-hour drive away. Sounds like they're driving forever, and then they're there for 10 minutes.
If that.
And then they leave.
I said he was catatonic,
Worth
but
it.
the parents leave the room and leave Billy alone with grandpa. Grandpa comes alive.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Grandpa's a bit creepy.
He is.
He gives Billy a warning. He's like, have you been nice all year? Have you done nothing naughty? Because Santa punishes the kids who are naughty.
Yeah, and if you see Santa around this time of year, you better steer clear of him, which is not what
Better
you
run
normally
away.
hear. Do you remember the same scene in the remake where catatonic grandpa, it's about 2/3 of the way through the movie, so it's not the beginning, and he's having a go at his like layabout stoner, no good for nothing, I'd say 17-year-old grandson.
No, I don't recall.
Yeah.
I don't recall much of the remake.
All right. It wasn't much like this. So yeah, so what they go to visit catatonic grandpa. You say they've driven about 5 hours. They're there for 10 minutes and they leave. And as they're driving away, the mum is bad-mouthing grandpa somewhat. And little Billy warns her not to bad-mouth grandpa.
But what was nice about this, actually, was that for once, when the little kid is like, oh yeah, I don't want to see Santa this
Billy.
year because Grandpa told me that he's going to punish me. And his parents, rather than just being like, oh, he's catatonic, you're an idiot or a liar, they're like, maybe Billy's telling the truth, but I wonder why Granddad would say that. So I thought that was nice.
Yeah, it's unusual for parents to believe children and their crazy stories in the horror movies, because then that kind of like ruins the narrative. Imagine like Child's Play and, you know, Andy's mum's believes him straight away. You got no movie then, have you?
Yeah, I was also thinking, though, that the whole Granddad scene was almost a bit unnecessary. You didn't have to have it. I guess it adds to the fact that now what happens in the story after parents are maybe believing Billy is that they come across a stranded Santa.
No, before they come across the stranded, in the meantime, when they're driving, Santa, he stops off at a gas station.
Not real Santa.
I think it's a gas station, yeah, naughty Santa. And he robs a gas station and he takes like $31. He's not happy with his kill.
Offs the guy.
Yeah, offs the clerk. And as he's driving along, the family see him stopped in his car. And little Billy, I've written he's a sweet kid, little Billy.
He is.
And he's saying to he's warning his parents, I don't want to see Santa, don't stop for Santa. Because, you know, obviously, like, naughty Santa's there waving. And of course, they stop for him. And then, then I get a bit numb.
This is the bit that really hit me. And I think it's partly because, like you said, Billy, he's so cute and he's really, relatable in that sense. Like, so when the next scene happens, it really got me. I was like, wow, they haven't held back.
I mean, just go on with the next scene.
So Santa pulls out his pistol and, you know, the woman's like, drive. So they drive a little bit. Santa shoots. Dad's shot right in the head and crashes the car. Santa comes over. Dad flops out. Little Billy has run away and hidden at the side of the road in like a ditch thing. So from his little hiding spot, Billy sees his dad flop out, as I said, when Santa opens the front door. His mum starts screaming. Baby's in the back. Oh yeah, there's a baby, his little brother. Yeah, Baby's Ricky. In the back crying his eyes out. And Santa now pulls Mum out of the car and it looks like he's about to SA her. He, like, rips her shirt open and everything, but then she smashes him. Now, again, kids, in that situation, I would always recommend some jabs to the eyes. And if you're not squeamish, you can just, you know, gouge those suckers out. I can guarantee someone with his eyes gouged out is not going to be hurting you anymore. But she doesn't do this. She just smashes him.
She fights back somewhat, yeah.
But it's not a good... Like, if you were, like, you know, holding me down and I punched you in the face, that would never hold you off. It would just do what it does here and enrage...
Make me angry.
It would enrage you. And so he takes his knife out and Mum's gone now. Billy's seen all of this. And then he does kind of come to the edge of the road and he's like, where are you, you little fucker? Sort of thing, you know, trying to find Billy, but... Seems he doesn't find him because that's the end.
If you're going to say SA,
that scene.
There's no point in saying fucker right after it because now we're just going to get called up for that.
Yeah, I still feel like YouTube's probably going to be a bit less harsh on the F word. But
as you were saying, you know, little baby Ricky's also in the car. This baby's like, what, 5 months old?
Yeah, it's a
something
proper
like
little
that.
baby.
That's what really got to me was the crying baby. No one likes a crying baby. It's distressing. So yeah, Santa has offed Billy's parents while he watches and revealed her boobs, which Billy's taken a lot of notice of. We've noticed. Do you feel that was? I was going to say, is that an unnecessary tit shot? Because it's just like, let's just open them. We already know what he's doing. But it does carry on in the story, doesn't it?
In this one, it's completely part of it. And it's part of what adds to the horror of the moment. Because like I said, it's like he's not going to just off her straight away. He's going to abuse her first.
I'll get to why I
which
asked
I think
that
is more horrifying
later on. So now after Billy's seen this and we've seen this, and we're completely numb now.
Oh, and of course, obviously, this all ties in that little Billy thinks that it's actual Santa. He, doesn't register to him. That's just some dude in a Santa costume. So Santa's
Billy's like
off to his
6 or whatever.
parents.
So now we're 3 years later, only 3 years later on, and Billy's now at an orphanage, and he's drawing disturbing pictures in class of Santa stabbing people and things like this. So he gets in trouble with his nun teacher, and he's sent to the nasty Mother Superior.
What a cow.
She is a cow, isn't she? Does she have Billy's best interests at heart, like the young nun seems to think? No,
Of course, this is a different Billy, by the way, and he was quite cute too.
I think I'll just call his 9-year-old Billy then.
Yeah, there's a younger nun, as you say, who seems to kind of be more what you'd imagine someone who cares for children would act like. But she also is very much under the thumb of Mother Superior, who thinks that strict rules and punishment are the way to go. And also, it seems to be suggested by this point that they know, obviously, what happened in Billy's past. But Billy doesn't really remember, so it's like a suppressed memory.
While Billy's been in trouble with his Mother Superior for drawing naughty drawings, the next time we see him get in trouble, he's wandering around the corridor and he goes to this certain room, looks for a keyhole, and there are a couple having sex, and he watches this, he watches all the hand movements going all over the girl's body. And who comes? Mother Superior comes. She opens the door to this naughty couple and she gives him the belt because sex is naughty, and then she gives Billy the belt because he's seen this, and also he shouldn't have been wandering the halls.
Yeah, but she also first just questions him, like, do you know what they were doing? He's like, no. Well, good, because it's a very bad thing to do. She
tells him sex is naughty outside, and he's like, yes, Mother Superior. That's all he can say. So it's like later on that night, he's going to bed, and he has dreams, having nightmares. So again, he gets up, starts wandering around. He's caught again. This time, Mother Superior ties him to the bed.
Yeah.
Both his arms tied to the bed. So he's not having the best of times.
No.
At the orphanage.
Poor little baby.
Is life getting better though? Because it's better than hiding in the reeds and seeing your family slaughtered.
The nicer nun is she's obviously frustrated by what's happening, but she doesn't actually do anything to step in.
No. And Mother Superior, she's like, right, I have got the cure for what ails him, and we're going to have a Santa come into the orphanage and hand out presents, and I'm going to make Billy sit on Santa's knee. So comes to it, he's pretty much dragged towards Santa. He's put on his knee, but then
kicking and screaming. Yeah,
he knocks out Santa.
He decks him.
Yeah.
He completely. It's like Santa's like, "Come here, kid,
Santa
sit on
down.
my knee," and he's like, "Pfft." That kid is strong. Clearly,
Yeah.
Santa is down, out for the count.
So of course Billy runs away, hides in the corner, and that's kind of the last we see of him there. Because now
we see Mother Superior come open the door, and we know bad things are going to happen.
Present day 1984. Billy has got a new job in like a toy shop, and it's montage time. He's grown up. He's quite handsome, strong, tall, blonde, blue-eyed guy. And, he's living life. He's got a new job at the toy store. And
doing a good job.
There's a girl there, I believe her name is Pamela, who's got a crush on. And, but he's talking to Pamela, and she has a bit of potty mouth. And he doesn't like bad language, Billy, because he's been told by Mother Superior all his life, sex is naughty, bad language is naughty, drawing pictures is naughty. Everything is naughty. Yeah, so he starts like seeing Santa around in the store. He's like freaking out a bit because he can't take seeing Santa, obviously. But then Pamela calms him with some sex. But then we realise actually no, it's just a dream.
Oh right, I was going to say I don't remember that.
Yeah, just a dream. But it would have been cool for her to calm him with some sex. That calms most people, I guess. Yeah, so like the novel It, yeah. But it's just a dream. So now we're introduced to Mr. Sims, and he runs the toy store.
Right, yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, thought he was good.
Mr. Sims.
There's also a guy who is more in charge of Billy, who like runs a stockroom or something.
Yeah, he's a right
He's
arse.
a bit of a sleaze.
His name's Andy.
Yeah.
And he's going out with Pamela, it seems.
I don't know.
Anyway.
That to me came out of nowhere, but that's not happened yet. It's store day, and would you know it, there's no Santa for the kids. So
no, there is no Santa for the kids because Mr. Sims' worker who's going to come in is called in badly with a bad ankle. Mm-hmm. Right? So the lady worker there, she goes to Mr. Sims and she's like, look, the agency's only got women left and, you know, we need a man for the job. Because this is 1984, right? Only one of two genders can do this job because it's to fill in to play Santa, and wouldn't you know it?
yeah, I thought. Did you not think at this point that the owner guy would have made a, you know, obvious Santa? He's a bit older. He's got a bit of natural filling and stuff. But no, they go for this like 17-year-old kid.
No, he's young and strong. So he, you know,
Dress him up.
He's looking in the mirror, look at himself as Santa.
Yeah.
It's not good for, you know, his mental health. So anyway, he has to play Santa, and first kid sits on his knee, and he's just freaking the kid out, and he's like,
That was so funny. This little girl doing such a little shit, just like kicking him and stuff. And he's like, you don't want to do that because if you're naughty, Santa's going to find you and punish you. And she
Yeah,
gets
punish.
silent. And we get that classic sort of 80s humour where the parents off in the corner is like, oh, he sure has a way with kids.
he does. Now, though, it's 7 o'clock, and Mr. Sims is like, it's finally over. Time to get shit-faced. So he brings out the whiskey, just hand out the whiskey to all and sundry, gives some to Billy.
Yeah, and Billy it seems, has
probably
never
shouldn't be
had any
drinking.
before. But, you know, his Pam is like flirt. Is like, go on.
Yeah, and Andy comes out with some mistletoes, like waving it to Pamela. And Pamela freely goes off with him around the corner.
Christmas joy. She's spreading the love.
Yeah, and Billy sees them walk around the corner. It's probably on to what they're doing. But before we can go and follow him, Mr. Sims, pissed as a fart, he comes to talk to Billy in his Santa outfit. And he's just saying all the wrong things. He's winding him up.
Yeah,
He's absolutely winding him up.
He's like, what are you thinking about? And Billy's like, oh, my parents. He's like, good, a kid should think about his parents on Christmas Eve. And he's like, they're dead. Oh, shoot. That's something you forget easily, isn't
Some
it?
good management from Mr. Sims. So meanwhile, Andy's now getting fresh with Pamela around the corner. He wants it. She doesn't. He's not having it. So Billy sees all this, has a bit of a flashback to his mum being attacked and his dad being attacked. So he comes
Yeah,
around.
I mean, he was definitely in the process of assaulting her, wasn't he? When Billy sees it.
Yeah. So
There's no question.
Billy comes around the corner, gets some fairy lights, strangles out Andy, and then you think, you know, Pamela's going to be grateful, but she freaks out.
Yeah, this really got me when we were watching it. I was like,
Punishment is necessary.
don't get me wrong. I would certainly be shocked, probably a bit frightened, and maybe tiny bit regretful if I just saw the guy being murdered in front of me. But equally, I would be more grateful because I've just avoided one of the worst things that could happen, in my opinion. So
Billy likes to repeat the teachings of Mother Superior, and he's telling Pamela, you know, punishment is necessary. He does that a lot, and then like I say, he kills her, and then
she's ungrateful.
you know, Mr. Sims, you know, what's going to happen to him because he's out there. He ends up getting a hammer to the face. Hammer to the face, Mr. Sims. That's a good effect. And there's an older lady employee who then gets stalked by Santa Billy, and she's about to escape, but he gets like a crossbow and arrows her, and she's gone.
In the meantime, the young nun has found out that there's like a Santa, or that they've made him dress as Santa or something. So she obviously knows that this might be a trigger for him. And she also said earlier to Mother Superior that like maybe he should be able to talk it out and unearth his demons before he gets triggered by something.
That's a bit of Wang
that
Chung
never
for
happened.
anyone I didn't know there. Yeah. Now there's a really good bit. Okay, there's a character called Denise. She's getting lucky at home while babysitting. She's getting lucky on a pool table. Right, they're getting down to it. She's about to have sex on a pool table, but then the kid that she's babysitting, Cindy, comes down the stairs and disturbs them. So she's like, oh, panicking because the kids are going to see us having sex on a pool table. She says, you know, if you don't go back upstairs right now, Santa isn't going to come. And her date says, he's not the only one. If they can't get back down to it. But then luckily, they are able to get back down to it. And because they're on a pool table, he says to her, 2 bars in the corner pocket. And it drives her wild. And why wouldn't it?
But also, the initial breast reveal, I think, was necessary and effective.
2 balls in the
But by
corner
this point,
pocket.
there's a lot more breast than is really needed.
But there will be no 2 balls in her corner pocket because they have to let the cat out. So if it's not a kid, it's a cat. So
She also decides to put on one item of clothing to go upstairs and open the door. Her
Booty
pair of
shorts.
shorts. These are the highest... I mean, these are basically lingerie made of denim.
these are booty shorts.
Big time.
These are booty shorts, right?
And no top, so her breast is still out.
But this film, you know, it's not biased. It's not like old lady has to wear booty shorts. Is it?
Who else wears booty shorts?
Well, I'll let you know later on. So Tommy, who is Denise's date, 2 balls in the corner pocket guy, he's noticed, you know, she hasn't come back. So he goes around the house and he starts looking for her. He ends up being stalked by Billy as well. They have a bit of a fight, and he does pretty well. He smashes Billy a bit, manages to kick Santa Billy in the nuts. I've never seen Santa Claus kicked in the nuts before in a horror movie. But yeah, obviously he gets it too with a fire poker and ends up being chucked out the window.
So there's these offings and I think a couple of others, but I found it a bit odd. I was like, why is he suddenly just going into people's houses and doing this? Where does he know that everyone's being naughty? Oh, and doesn't...
Because he's got the Santa powers.
Is this when the little girl comes down, or is that the next house?
This is the coolest bit of the movie, I'd say, and it's the reason that it was like controversial and the reason why a lot of people don't like it, but I thought it was the best bit.
Really?
Oh, really?
Really? Well, I do say. But I thought the little girl comes down and she sees Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And he asks her, have you been nice all year? And she's adamant that she's just been a good girl the whole time.
Been naughty, have you?
And so he just walks away, right?
No. He hands her a blade.
Oh, right. Oh, is that... Okay. But
Which is
either
very
way, he lets her live.
Still mean-spirited. He's like, you follow my footsteps, have a blade.
Whereas all he had to give her, and she wanted a present, and, you know, Santa has to give
So
presents.
your take is this is all Billy had to give her?
Yeah.
He could have just given her his hat.
That would have ruined the Santa
Something
costume,
like that.
though.
Well, I just think him giving her a knife is just a nice mean-spirited part of the
Well,
movie.
I thought it was just that she was like, did you bring me a present? And he's like, have you been nice? She says yes. And then he's like, well, damn, I need to give her a present now because that's what Santa does. But all I have is this knife.
Christmas movie. Now there's another great scene. There are 2 lads sledding.
Oh, God. This
2
is
lads are
so
sledding.
stupid.
They're about to have the best time sledding. But then 2 bullies.
Yeah.
They come out of the woods. It's nighttime. And they take their sled.
Yeah.
And these
they
bullies,
took their sleds.
these bullies love sledding.
I also did notice, one, where they're filming at the top of this supposed hill.
Yeah.
It looks very, very flat. And secondly, the non-bullies, the original guys, the owners of the sled, they're like, look at this virgin snow. And then when we see them actually sledding down, the bullies, it's been done 100 times already.
You've got to let that go.
Just
So otherwise,
why say
where
it?
are we gonna get to? Yes, the bully's loving the sled. The first bully goes down on the sled. Woohoo! He gets to the bottom, and now the main he's like the second bully because the bullies are left at the top. He's like number 1 bully.
Big bully.
So he gets to the sled. He's like, "Watch this!" Like puts himself off down the flat path. And as he's going down, though, who pops out? Santa Billy with an axe and.
And then so he keeps sledding down, but without his head. So by the time he gets to the bottom, his mate's like, huh? And his head just comes rolling down after him.
That'll teach
That
bullies.
was good.
That
I
will
liked
teach
that.
bullies. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
I liked it a lot.
There's a bit now with a nun, the good young nun. And
He's still looking for Billy.
And a cop are talking. And they think that Billy, he might head to the orphanage to
Yes.
finally confront Mother Superior. So now we're at the orphanage, and the kids, they're excited to see Santa because Mother Superior says, Santa's coming today and all this. And so we see a Santa approaching the building.
Right. And the cops have all been told, by the way, that there is a killer Santa on the loose.
Yeah. And then this cop on duty, he ends up like calling out to Santa. Santa's not listening, so he pops 3 bullets in him. It turns out he's killed O'Brien, who's deaf.
Deaf. That's why he didn't stop.
Just top police work.
Oops. Oh, and also, he shoots him whilst Billy's little brother is like holding out his hand to shake Santa's hand, so he gets blood splashed over him. That's pretty horrendous.
Yeah, this cop is just blown away, Mr. O'Brien.
In front of all the
He
kids.
walks into the orphanage now, he's talking to Mother Superior, saying, "Oh, sorry about Mr. O'Brien and all that. I didn't know he was deaf." Doesn't seem too concerned, because he goes back outside, back on the patrol, looking out for another Santa. I'll be like, I'll tell this man just like lay down his arms and, you know, go and get some sleep or
Yeah,
something.
you might be
'Cause
done for the day,
You just
at
you just
least.
done in a deaf guy. And he's not bothered though, is he? Now that he's off O'Brien, who shows up? Real Santa Billy. And Santa Billy axes O'Brien in the face. Not O'Brien, sorry, the cop that killed O'Brien. And a little boy in the orphanage, he sees Santa Billy. So he runs to the door to let him in, even though Mother Superior had just been told, you know, there's a nutty Santa on the loose and he's going to come and kill everybody. But the kid lets in Santa Billy. And as Santa Billy's approaching Mother Superior, he's about to axe her, but he ends up being shot. And then it seems like the Christmas powers then go into what turns out to be his brother Ricky, because it ends up with him like being, "You're naughty," or something like that.
And that's where
you need to be punished.
Where it ends.
Yeah, little kids being infected by the bad Santa syndrome.
I don't think there should have been a sequel to this.
What are you talking about?
It should have ended there. Can I also mention that I thought this was quite different to a lot of other ones, in the sense that we see the first half of this kid's life, and he's obviously our protagonist, and you absolutely feel for him, and he's like a good little boy for the most part, just being punished for nothing. And then, of course, he gets triggered by something that's happened to him, and he goes off on a rampage, at which point he's obviously a killer, so that's not good. But it's very confusing, because you're like, but poor Billy.
Robert Brian Wilson plays 18-year-old Billy in this, the Santa Billy, goes around killing everybody. And in the second one, my second place, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, we will concentrate on Billy's brother, Ricky, played by the one and only Eric Freeman. Now, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, this is your bottom pick?
Yeah.
How?
Oh, God, I thought it was absolutely atrocious for the
was.
most part. It was... Okay, the first half of the film consists of hugely long snippets of the film we've just watched.
Before we get into that,
My God.
this is exactly why I liked it, because this movie was two movies in one. You got to see all the best parts
It was a half-assed attempt at one
from the
movie.
original. Yeah, what happens is Billy's brother Ricky, he's now grown up and he's in a psych ward, right?
His performance is quite something.
And he's being interviewed by his doctor, and he ends up, like you say, we get like half an hour at least, 35 minutes of just the reruns of scenes from Silent Night, Deadly Night with a little bit of voiceover.
This at this point, when we were on like the fourth rehashing of just showing us the first film, I was like, have they made this film for like $20? Because all we've seen is two people in an empty room doing like tiny segments to cut together big scenes from the first film.
What happened was they filmed about 50 minutes of footage. They're like, oh, this would make a good Silent Night, Deadly Night sequel. But because they only had 50 minutes of footage, like, what the hell can we do? Let's just pop in half an hour of the original movie.
That's
quite
not
smart.
what actually happened, is it?
Yeah, that's what happened. And that's also why you get 10 minutes of end credits, because not only do they do the credits for number 2, they do the credits for everyone in number 1 as well. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which has got to be one and only time that's ever happened.
And also the bits in between, compared to what we've seen in the first film, are so shit.
Now, Ricky
sucks.
Like I say, Ricky...
The Doctor was fine, but Ricky is
Eric
awful.
Freeman rules.
Oh my God.
Absolutely rules. This is a tour de force performance. Now, as I was saying, in Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1, Ricky is a baby. He's the baby in the back of the car. And I said he's what? 6 to 6 months old, something like this. So when he's having recollections about his family being slain, I'm like, how are these his memories?
Yeah, they're absolutely not. And then I think he did.
Well, they are.
He did mention in passing. He was like, "Well, my brother Billy told me all of this, but that's absolutely impossible because Billy didn't remember any of it. Then he was triggered. He did remember it, but by the time he's met his brother Ricky again. He's being shot. So
I guess you got to gloss over that.
Ricky would have no recollection of this, especially not the way they said. I thought that was super lazy. I was
Ricky would have no
there
recollection.
were like 4 people listed to come up with the story for this film, and I was like, not a single one of you could come up with something better for the reason why Ricky's now doing it. Poor
Ricky, when he's been interviewed by his doc, what I've noticed is, early on, he likes to emote through his eyebrows.
Yeah, he does.
Did you enjoy that? That was he was intense.
He was intense.
He was intense. He emotes through his eyebrow movement.
It was like Gary Busey, but without the
Gary Busey
selling it without without the finishing
Eric
touch.
Freeman is Gary Busey like, is he? So we get the opening of, well, not the opening, we just get a condensed version of Silent Night, Deadly Night for 35 minutes while voiceovers and not flashbacks, but current happenings in the psych ward with the interview going on. And it's recycled footage. And I'll say, how are these his memories, as we've already kind of mentioned? And even the doctor then asks Ricky that, and his reply is, I was there. And he was there. So who are we to say that he doesn't remember what was going on? Once he starts like recounting the story of what has happened to his family and stuff, you know, we're having the flashback scene, and it comes back into the room, and all of a sudden Ricky's like right up against Doc's table, and he's like, "She was naughty." It's like he's constipated.
Yeah.
It was like a constipation scene. I thought he was like doing the dirty on the floor because he's in a psych ward, so we can't rule that out. And then he lets the doc know that you're doctor number 13.
Yeah.
So this is great stuff. And
so
we have another quick flashback. Ricky's describing stuff. He comes back into the room, and the doc replies to the story by saying, naughty. And then Ricky's like, very naughty.
You could have done the role. You could have been Ricky.
I love Ricky. I love Eric Freeman. Do you know, apparently, he got contrasting direction from the director and the writer. One of them was telling him to go completely over the top, and someone else was trying to tell him to rein it in. And this is what we got. He took direction from whoever just in his ear and just went with that.
Yeah. We're not at his finest hour yet, but so he says he's had a lot of docs come in to talk to him already.
13.
Yeah. And he's like, you're not going to be able to do any better. So he has no hope. And yet he seems to very easily just be led into telling all sorts of stories. So either this doctor is a genius, or Ricky's just suddenly decided to let it all out.
Well, look, we've already got to fill the movie with 35 minutes of footage from the original. Let's just fill in the rest with what we can. So he goes on to tell the doctor that after all this stuff happened to him, and you know Billy was taken from the orphanage, Ricky ends up getting adopted by a family called the Rosenbergs, and he says they definitely did not get involved in Christmas. Now, of course, they're Jewish, the Rosenbergs. So,
but they're also aware of his history.
He's really peed off about being adopted by a Jewish couple because now there's no more Christmas. It's just Hanukkah.
But he doesn't want Christmas, to the point where he's out with his adoptive mum, and some storefront is putting out some red velvet, and he gets all like, but not before actually 2 nuns freak him out as well. So he's freaked out by nuns and Santa.
In this one, he's not so much freaked out by Santa, he's just freaked out by the colour red.
Right.
So that's got to be hard because you're walking around just when it's not even Christmas, just walking around, you're seeing red and wrapped in like a bull. So that can't be easy for him. So once he says he's been adopted by the Rosenbergs, right? So once he's like a little bit further along in his story, he says,
"Oh, by the way, this is finally new footage that we're being shown in between now. They can't keep using the old film because it wasn't about Ricky."
So now we're like a bit further along in Ricky's story, and he says, "My stepdad died. That hit me pretty hard." And then the doctor's like, "Let it out." And he says, "Here it comes." Eric Freeman. Tour de force performance.
Yeah.
And it only goes like this. It only gets better. Much better. After he says this, we're now in one of Ricky's flashbacks from time in his like teens.
Right.
And for some, much like his brother hiding in the reeds in the first one,
Yeah.
Ricky is like in the forest and he's just like milling about in the foliage, peeping on a couple. But the couple, much like in the first
right,
one,
yeah.
there's another attempted,
right,
there's an
right.
attempted rape by the boyfriend.
Yeah, he smacks her, rips her top open, again, a la
So,
original.
yeah, it's the same shot.
Yeah, which
Was
is
that an
what's supposed to be
unnecessary
triggering
shot?
them. No, again, it's supposed to be the trigger thing.
Right.
But this time, so Ricky obviously is also triggered because he was a baby when this happened, so he remembers it. So he goes off the man.
He specifically remembers the boob shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was in the back of a car looking up at the ceiling
So
crying.
we're
but
showing in flashback his mum's boobs as well.
Of course, we've seen that like 3 times in this movie now.
Yeah, we've seen this kind of thing at least 3 times before. And what do they say? You know, Ricky and Biddy's family when they see something untowards. Naughty. So what I love is just him standing
In the bushes.
woods with leaves in front of him, peeping on this, attempted sexual assault, and he just goes, naughty.
I swear as well, the like one tree that he decided to like hide within or something, it's got like 2 branches, barely covers anything, and he's put his face like right into the leaves as well. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Naughty.
Because he's bringing the same intensity as Eric Freeman. He's probably seen the footage of him in the psych ward. It's like, right, I've got to live up to this. Very naughty. So yeah, now Ricky decides he's going to go and off the bloke.
Yeah, so he's obviously following through with this whole thing. You've got to punish those who are doing bad things.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, so he's off the bloke, and that's it. He drives. There's a red truck. The guy has a red
I've
truck.
written, he runs him over, right?
He runs him over
Right.
with his own truck.
Because so he can't take the colour red. So it's turning
Yeah.
into this bull.
Every time he sees red, he wants to kill.
Yeah.
So then the girl comes from a picnic blanket. By the way, the girl was just going to wait there to be assaulted. Did you notice that? Because he like smacks her, says, "Oh, this isn't over." Goes to get like beer or something from his truck, and she's just there on the picnic blanket, like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, she's not that bothered.
And I understand maybe
she's
they're in
gonna
the middle of
carry
nowhere,
on. She's
but-
going to carry on the camping trip regardless.
Yeah, and Ricky
we've come
got
here.
there,
We've
so
come
then-
here to camp.
But anyway, let's gloss over that, because when she comes up to the car and finds out that Ricky has offed her would-be assaulter,
Oh, her boyfriend, her loving boyfriend.
she does the opposite of what Pam in the first movie does, and in this one she was like overly grateful. I felt
Just
she
thanks
was
him.
like, "Oh my god, thank you." It's like this. The emotions aren't quite right here. The emotions don't really
Well,
add
I
up.
thought it was an
so-
emotional scene because when she thanks him, she just turns and just walks away into the woods, disappears. It's like artistic, and Ricky goes his own way
Yeah.
as well.
So I wonder if they got some feedback on the first movie where people were agreeing with us that like Pam was a little bit ungrateful, and they were like, "Right, let's do it the opposite way now and make her really grateful so she
Just
can
go
survive."
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. we're back in the psych ward now in the doctor's office, and now what's saying Ricky is turning the tables on the doc. He's like, "You're not gonna ask me questions anymore. I'm asking you questions. So I want to know, how did you become a doctor?" And the doctor's like, pretty much, "Oh well, my girlfriend and my wife put me through college, and then here I am today." And Ricky says, "I had an old lady too, but she can afford to put me through college. So I got a job."
Oh yeah, the way you said it. God damn it. I mean, I don't blame him. Jobs are generally quite shit.
Yeah, so,
But,
so we see him at
I
his
have to get a job.
we see him at his new job, and he sees a guy being beaten up. So the guy being beaten up in the alleyway. Of course, Ricky comes out and he kills him with an umbrella. Remember, he gets the umbrella, stabs it through the guy's chest, and then the umbrella opens. People have complained about that, saying it was stupid. I thought it was great,
It was stupid,
but great.
but entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
It fits with this film, definitely.
Then he meets a girl called.
That wasn't the point in the film where I was like, "Oh dear."
Then he meets a girl called called Jennifer, and straight away,
isn't this
they've
when-
met.
But isn't this the one where the doctor takes out a photo of her and I was like, "Who's this?" And he goes again into one of his like, "That's Jennifer."
Yeah, I didn't want to just keep saying now we're back in the psych ward.
The
da, da, da.
only
So
person I ever loved.
He meets a girl called Jennifer. There's an instant sex scene because we have to know that they're together. That's how we know. And he says to the doctor, "That was my first time. though it wasn't Jennifer's. So he was looking for a virgin.
No.
So she's out for it now. And now we find out that she indeed wasn't a virgin.
Yeah.
Because now we've got a classic scene at the cinema.
Right.
So Ricky's taking Jennifer to the cinema. And they're sitting down and we hear a preview of a movie. It's like, pew, 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 the greatest action you've ever seen. Stuff like this. Ricky's really excited. And then what have they sat down to watch? Silent Night, Deadly Night. So they're watching...
So we get more shots of the original movie.
So...
Again.
Ricky has recounted these
Holy
memories
cow.
to the doctor at the beginning, and now he's watching his memories on screen of...
And in the meantime, there's a couple of punks at the back of the cinema.
There are punks at the back of the cinema, which, they're just being loud and throwing popcorn, just being generally obnoxious. So at some point, Ricky decides that naughty punishment. So he ups and leaves to go and get the annoying patron. And then, so he leaves Jennifer in her seat.
Yeah.
And then just... From behind his seat, behind her, comes Chip. And he's like, remember when we shagged in the back of my car? Was he hiding there the whole time?
No, I think Chip is there on a date with some other girl
across
the aisle. And after, like, trying to convince Jennifer for ages that she should get back with him, he goes back to his date and is like, right, let's go.
Yeah, and Jen warns Chip, you do not say a word about the back seat of your car.
Yeah.
All right? Don't say anything about it. So the next thing we know, Ricky and Jennifer are taking a walk in the daytime, and they come across Chip, who's working on his car.
What colour is it?
We believe it's red, so of course Ricky has to electrocute Chip.
Yes.
He puts something in his mouth, doesn't he?
And Jennifer's a little bit shocked by this. Yeah, he does. He gets the jumper cables and sticks it in his mouth.
She is freaked, but it's kind of like, it's not freaked like, oh my god!
You've just murdered my ex right in front of my eyes.
Instead, Ricky looks at her and says, punish! And she goes, uh-oh.
That's what I would do. Yeah, that was the other thing. I was like, in both movies, all the times that, like, these women have seen Billy or Ricky off someone in front of them, their reactions are never quite right. And especially because I'm like, wouldn't you be, even if you think he's there to save you, wouldn't you still be a little bit worried? Like, what is this guy's deal? Is he just a psychopath and maybe he just wants to kill me too? Uh-oh.
Yeah, after uh-oh, and he's killed Chip, a cop comes. He disarms the cop and blows the cop away. Gets his gun. And he's like, ha 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 ha.
This is the start of the ha ha.
Where we are currently, in the borough of Richmond upon Thames, it's Thursday currently. We'll be talking to you in the future on Sunday. But on Thursday, here, it's what? Garbage Day!
Oh, right. Oh, yeah! Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that. I literally saw you write a note. I was like, Johnny's gonna... You were... This is what killed you, isn't it? Garbage Day.
Garbage Day!
It took you like a full 10 minutes to recover from just flailing about with laughter. Yeah, that was weird. He as you said, he's got the gun. Some innocent man, as far as anyone knows, so as far as Ricky knows,
taking out the rubbish.
He's taking out his rubbish. He gets shot by Ricky.
Maybe he's wearing
and then
red.
Ricky's like, ha ha. Garbage Day.
Garbage Day. He ends up in the psych ward killing his doctor afterwards. But we do see multiple shots of just Billy walking in the road going,
It was so weird. It was so weird.
Great.
This is the weirdest
laugh
I've ever seen in a movie.
Then once he kills the doc, he ends up getting into a Santa suit and he makes a call from a phone booth about something, and there's already someone dead in there. And now we're introduced to Mother Superior. Mother Superior is back, and for some reason she's got like a messed up face. She's got like a veiny, burnt face. It's all grey and stuff. I was like, why?
Yeah,
Because nothing happened to her. She was saved.
Don't remember. But either way, Ricky clearly still has a bone to pick. The unfinished work of his brother.
Mother Superior, much like, I think at the end of the first one, she's in a wheelchair, right?
No, I don't think she was.
Oh, she's not. So she's in a wheelchair in this one, because we're much further on in time. Ricky comes to the orphanage and starts trying to attack her. She managed to fend him off with her wheelchair, like a lot.
She does pretty well.
She does really well. She managed to fend him off with the wheelchair.
To, like, chuck herself down the staircase as well because her little electronic thingy is too slow.
Yeah, and what's good about that is when she chucks herself down the stairs, you just think, oh, it's a split-second decision just to get away from here. But no, it's full of a bigger plan, because downstairs where she lands, there's a closet and there's a spare wheelchair in there. So she goes in there, gets that, and gets in that. So she's got wheelchair up there, wheelchair down
She's
here.
also very ballsy, because after getting downstairs into her fresh wheelchair, and she ends up rolling into like the kitchen or something, and up until now she's clearly been running away, as you would do, but now she gets just like a kitchen knife. She's like, Ricky! Where are you, Ricky? I was like, what are you hoping to achieve if Ricky comes to your call now?
It wasn't so much her calling out for Ricky. It was,
unless she's a good knife thrower.
It was more before that she was just rolling around bad-mouthing him. I'm like, why would you taunt this guy? Because she's been completely silent before all of this. And of course, Ricky ends up coming face to face with her, and she looks up at him and says, "You're naughty." And he's like, "Naughty this!" And he's about to bring down the axe, and he does axe her. The cops come and they start shooting him, and we think he's dead. There's probably another flashback, but then it comes back to Ricky's face, and he like opens his eyes and smiles at the camera. So it's not over. Garbage day. That was a great film. Like I said, it's two films in one. You get the nice recap. I mean, it would have been better if I hadn't just watched Silent Night, Deadly Night the night before. But
it also
Eric Freeman's performance.
I mean,
it's a virtuoso performance. This is for people that love bad films, and this is a bad film in the best way. This is one of the greatest performances of all time.
Awful.
No, great. It was all. I didn't know what to put at number one. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 was almost top spot for me. I'm going to watch this again every single year, without fail. So Merry Christmas to you. What do you like better? Billy's performance or Ricky's performance? There's only one winner for me.
Yeah, Billy.
No, Ricky.
No, Billy.
No, Billy walked so that Ricky can run. And run,
and it's not even like anyone else in the second one does a bad performance. It's literally just Ricky.
Bad. He makes the film.
It's so awful. It's so bad.
Makes the film.
Yeah, it's like Tommy Wiseau style.
Well, if that's not praise, I don't know what is. Talk about praise. Both our number one pick, right? No, should have been.
It's my number two.
Yeah, my bottom pick was your top pick, wasn't it? Yeah, so you got me completely wrong this week. Number one. Officially, Don't Open Till Christmas, also from 1984. I knew it was a British film when we watched it, and I was hoping, much like that other British film we watched, that there were just going to be some comical lines and sleaze. And this was a sleaze fest. They do not make them like this anymore.
Yeah, I feel like there's more sleaze in the old British films than the American ones.
Oh yeah, way more sleaze.
Yeah.
Definitely. We are known for...
Even though there was a lot of titty in the American
sleaze.
ones, the British one had more, just lines that were a bit...
Even the greatest horror of all time, the creation of the Hellraiser universe is, in my opinion, the greatest creation in the history of horror. And of course, that brings the sleaze, that brings the ultimate grime, but it brings it in a top-notch way. Whereas this one is just pure grime, pure sleaze. It's a notch above porn. It's a notch above a skin flick. And we open with what I thought was going to be the great British institution of dogging. Do you know what dogging is?
I do.
You do know what dogging is.
I do know what dogging is.
Because we see a couple...
Is that a British institution?
It's absolutely... Because we bring the sleaze. Dogging, I'm sure, is an English invention. Dogging. That's a very British term. So I thought there was a bit of dogging going on, because there's a couple in the car in an alleyway, and we see from the point of view of what turns out to be the killer approaching them. But I just thought it was some bloke.
The dude is dressed as Santa again, of
Yeah, I
course.
just thought it was some perv Santa coming to watch them do the dirty in the car.
Did you?
Yeah, but, because, the great institution of dogging.
I thought it was pretty obvious, because...
No, you see a car in an alleyway.
Yeah, we get...
Two people are at it.
Some woman go up to a Santa Claus guy. They go into his car, into the back seat. They're going at it. And we're seeing from the perspective of some dude looking in the windows and stuff. I was like, obviously he's a killer.
No, obviously. If there are
Obviously.
two people having sex in a car in an alleyway and someone walks up to the window, they're dogging.
Yes, but it's a horror movie, so obviously he's going to be the killer.
But it's a British 80s skin flick horror, so I thought it was a bit of dogging.
My favourite part of this, though, was that when one of the people eventually notices, the guy it is, he's like, "Oi, you, get out of here!"
Yeah.
And the girl is just like, "Oh well," and carries on, whilst the pervert is still wandering about the car.
It turns out it's unwanted dogging, and it is a killer, because this killer doesn't like anyone that dresses as Santa Claus in London. So as you say, the guy's
Right.
come out with the woman dressed as Santa, so he's clocked him, he's like, I need to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, the guy's, he's a silver fox, if you want to call him that. He's got grey hair, he's much older than the ladies having sex with him back of his car. So I'm thinking, she's kind of dressed as a schoolgirl, isn't she? She's got the long, good girl skirt on and just a white blouse. I'm pretty sure she might have been a prostitute. But either way, she's much old. He's so.
no
he
idea.
do you not notice how much older he was than
Yes.
her? Yeah, they both end up being stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the stomach. It was pretty good. And I say,
By
I really
killer.
did love the get away, clear off.
Yeah, because the guy does eventually get out of the car.
Clear
He's like, I
off!
don't want to be watched after all.
He doesn't. It wasn't the Great British Institution of
Whereas,
Dogging
like I
going
said, the
on.
woman really doesn't seem to mind. She's like, "Oh, ignore him. Let's carry on."
After this, she was up for dogging. See, that's why I might have confused it for dogging. Do you reckon the word dogging's ever been said so much on a review about a movie?
Maybe a different kind of movie.
Right. Now it's party time. There's a party going on, and everyone's grooving. There are short skirts abound. I saw the shortest skirt I've ever seen.
I
on
know.
screen,
I was
think.
thinking that. I was
Yeah.
shocked that we didn't see bum cheek, because I was like, any second now. But no.
She's a pro. Backstage at this
Some
party.
sort of costume party. Yeah.
Yes, backstage at this party is going to be entertainment. There's a Santa sitting in the vanity mirror. He's getting ready to play Santa,
God, yeah.
and we're introduced to like our main female character, Kate. It turns out the Santa guy is her dad, and her dad is asking her, do I look like Santa yet? And she says, no, you need more rosé, to make him like he's got more of a rosy cheek.
No, he needs less
Oh, he needs less rosé.
and more eyebrow.
Okay, there you go. He needs less
Less blush
rosé,
and more eyebrow.
more eyebrow. To which then Kate's dad says to her, "I'll look like a gay old queen." And she's like, "No, you won't." But then Kate's boyfriend Cliff walks in, and the dad says to Cliff, "What do you think?" And Cliff goes, "You look like a gay old queen."
Oh. Yeah.
Number one movie of the week. So now it's Kate's dad is about to come out to play Santa on the stage. He gets about 1 minute of time before he
Gets a spear in the back of
speared
the
through the back of the neck
Yeah.
and through his throat. Yeah, good stuff.
That was...
Excellent
Yeah,
stuff.
I haven't seen many spear killings, I'll be honest. So there you go. That was new.
Especially on Santa. Now we're at New Scotland Yard. This had some great locations. This is filmed all around London, so you get Soho, Covent Garden, Piccadilly, all those places. And I was thinking to myself, this London looks so great, but it's lost all of its character now, much like New York has completely lost all of its kind of like grimy character. New York used to be like the place to go to shoot a movie, in my opinion. Think about Ghostbusters and just so many others. And now both London and New York are just so sanitized that you could never make it look like this ever again. But we're introduced to Chief Inspector Harris and Detective Sergeant Powell. Now, the guy that plays Inspector Harris, he's the suave, older one.
Right.
Slightly pervy.
Yeah, and they keep referring to two people, the girl and the boy.
The girl and the boy, yeah. But Inspector Harris, he's played by Edmund Purdom, who only agreed to be in this movie if he could direct it. And he ended up being one of 3 directors on this film. Yeah, so he was directing this. And Mark Jones, who plays his partner, or whatever, his underling, Detective Sergeant Powell.
Yeah.
Much like last week, we had an actor who was in many skin flicks. Much the same for Mark Jones. I'll only name one. He was in a movie called The Sexplorer. Yeah, so there's a lot of skin flick people in this. And they're two kind of like clueless cops, aren't they? They're now going to be on the trail of this Santa killer.
Well, it turns out that boy and girl they're talking about are Kate and Cliff.
Mm-hmm. Who are like 35 years old.
I suppose they are interacting because of the death of Kate's dad.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, there's a Santa
And the
Claus
doggers.
killer. Yeah, there's a Santa Claus killer, basically. Someone keeps offing Santa. So they go to Kate's place, don't they?
Much later on, outside, once we're introduced to the cops, there's another Santa, a guy dressed as Santa who's on like the street.
The chestnut guy.
And yeah, he's selling chestnuts and like roasting chestnuts on his grill.
But he seems to be in the middle of an alley in the back end of nowhere. There's no one around.
He's probably expecting
Not
doggers.
Gonna do well,
and doggers will probably get hungry after all that dogging. So as he's cooking his chestnuts, of course, the naughty Santa comes out of the alleyway. He gets his face.
Not the naughty Santa. The killer's not dressed as Santa. We just see.
Oh yeah, of course he's not. Yeah,
he just kills.
Killer
Santas.
comes out, and now it's his face roasting on an open fire.
Yeah, that was quite good, actually, wasn't it?
And that'll teach him because he was smoking a fag as well.
Oh,
should you be smoking fags when you're cooking food goods outside? What if the ash will get on it? So he deserves that. He burns
So
on the
you
grill.
didn't want sanitisation, Johnny.
Now we're introduced to our next character. It's this fella called Giles, and he's in a phone booth in London, and he decides to get on the blower to the cops. And he's a bit like Bond, Giles, because he gets on the phone, and the cop's like, "Hello," and he says, "It's Giles." Giles. So good. He's got to name himself twice. What do you think of Giles?
Oh, this guy could contend with Ricky, I think.
No
I think so.
No one's contending with
so
Eric Freeman.
Giles says that he's a reporter, and he wants to know something about the murders or whatever, Santa Claus murders, and before he actually goes to visit the cop is like, well, let me do some research on this guy, and he calls up the newspaper, and he sees no record of Giles.
No, meantime, once he gets off the phone call, it's literally just like scene of people talking. Then we're just going to offer Santa. So after we've been introduced to Giles, we then just see Santa walk up to someone else anyway and just stick a gun in his mouth and blow him away in the mouth. Pretty violent. It's a drunk old Santa, obviously, because none of these Santas are good Santa. You've got dogging Santa, you've got fag smoking, chestnut cooking Santa, and now you've got this Santa. So none of the Santas are good.
What about Kate's dad? All he was doing was...
Turns out that Giles says he's from the Daily News. He ends up asking around town. He's like stopping people on the street. I think he stops Kate on the street and tries to get some information out of her, but she's not having it.
Yeah, he does definitely meet Kate.
Yeah, and then we're introduced at night time to the police band. The police force have got their own band, like a brass band or whatever.
It's not bad enough that in those kinds of jobs you have to work at Christmas anyway, but now you're going to take the little time you've got free and play in a band on the road.
Yeah. So
Good Samaritans, I wouldn't do it.
The guy that plays Giles, is a character called, or an actor called Adam Lake. Mm-hmm. He was married to a lady called Doris Day, who he met on... Sorry, Doris Dawes, not Doris Day.
Oh, I was going to say, is that the same...
Doris Dawes, Dors,
decade?
And they met on a film set. They married, and she was the English Marilyn Monroe. She was like the Marilyn Monroe of her day of England, and she was like the youngest registered owner of like Rolls Royce at 20 in England when she was doing her career. And she also held sex parties at her flat in the swinging 60s. Yeah, baby, like that style.
Wow.
Yeah, but she ended up dying quite young, and Adam Lake, the guy that plays Giles in this, a few months later just offed himself.
Couldn't live without her,
it seems. Yeah, so that's sad.
That is sad.
Yeah. Now we're introduced to Kate's boyfriend, mostly introduced because we've already seen him at the beginning, his maybe future father-in-law, gay old queen. Now he's in the London Underground with Kate, and he's playing the flute because he's a busker. That's how he earns his money. And
she just stands there with a hat collecting.
Yeah, she's just the collector. And while he's playing the flute, some geezer walks up to him and starts like teasing him. But it just turns out it's Cliff's old mate. It's Cliff's old mate Jerry. So Cliff asked Jerry, "How you been?" And he said, just ducking and weaving.
Oh, this guy, such an idiot.
Idiot? What, Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry's an idiot.
Such a dum-dum. Not that Cliff is much better, but what a dum-dum.
Cliff and Jerry, I think they're a great combo.
He really offends Kate by saying something about Santa, and obviously her dad's just been offed.
Yeah.
So she goes off.
Yeah, it's pretty uncouth of Jerry just to bring up the Santa Claus uniform.
Not that he would know, but now he knows.
Now he knows.
Now he knows.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. After she's wandered off in a huff, of course, lads are going to be lads, boys are going to be boys. So Jerry invites Cliff to the boozer. So they go to. And this is an old school English boozer, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no Bacardi or whatever. It's Smirnoff Ice. Just lager.
Cask ales.
Just cask ales and lager. Yeah, and once he's there, like Jerry is kind of like talking about his work as a photographer, and he's trying to convince Cliff to come over to the studio. And Cliff's a bit like, oh, it's not like it's not a bit dodgy, is it? Nothing dodgy, is it, Jerry? And he's like, come on, you'll just have to come and have a look, wouldn't you?
No, but also clearly Jerry's a bit of a dodgy character, because when he first is like, oh,
well, he's ducking and weaving.
He's like, I'm into cameras now, and Cliff is like, what? Stealing them or passing them on or something. He's like, nah, nothing like that, mate. I'm a photographer. I was like,
legit.
And he does kind of say no, nothing like that when Cliff is like, nothing dodgy.
Cliff ends up going back to the studio. He walks in, and what's going on? Jerry's tending to Sharon, a nudie model, almost butt naked. And then Cliff comes out of the darkness and he's all like
dirty pervert.
And I think you mentioned, even though Jerry said to Cliff, bring Kate with you.
Yeah.
She's not there yet. And I'm like, well, where's Kate?
Right.
So he's like rubbing his hands in glee, old Cliff, because he's thinking, right, this is a titty shoot. He is a little bit dodgy. And
he likes it.
Did you also like that there was jazz music playing in the background? Because they always used to put like jazz type music in the back of sexy scenes in England.
I also noticed in this is the first instant in this film where how the whole cliche thing of England is tea.
Yeah.
They're always drinking coffee in this movie.
I never noticed.
And this is the first thing. So the model, she wants to reach for a coffee, and Jerry won't let her. He's like, no, we've got to get the titty shots, and then we've got to go outside. She's like, I just want some coffee. That
could have been something with 3 directors on this movie, or maybe just because they were invested in American type movies before, like Slaughter High and Pieces, which was Pieces was American. Was there a lot of coffee in those? Don't know, but Pieces is I believe an Italian movie, so there will be a lot of coffee in that, and they made Pieces. So so there's a titty shoot. Sharon's modelling. Cliff is delighted. Jerry, of course, is living the life because I don't know what he's doing before this. And as I said, now Kate does show up, and she comes out of the darkness, and she's not too happy about this.
Well,
and you kind of think that Cliff's going to wind it in, but instead he's still just like, just like he's as close to Kate as you are to me right now. He's just like completely perving on her.
And the worst thing is that it turns out Jerry, can I say this? Jerry is missing an extra couple for this photo shoot. They backed out last minute. And so he's
not a couple, just the second model, because the couple was Sharon, and another model was supposed to come, and she's a no-show.
And he's like, "Yeah, they haven't come, so Kate, you do it." And Cliff's like, "Yeah, go on, Kate."
Yeah, and then obviously Kate
could make 50 quid. That's what it was, wasn't it? 50 quid.
50 large.
Get your baps out.
So Kate kind of, what Jerry lets Kate and Cliff kind of talk this out. So Cliff says, come Jerry's an old mate, just get your tits out, will ya?
Yeah, what the hell?
He's like, yeah, put this on. Jerry comes back out with a Santa costume, and he says, here, put this on. And that's the thing that finally breaks, the camel's back, the straw breaks the camel's back, because it's not about, being asked to get your baps out for 50. It's being told to dress up in a Santa costume, even though Jerry's already just been explained. Yeah. Your dad's just been killed by Santa.
Yeah.
Right, so she now goes off. And you're gonna think, she runs off in a half. You think Cliff might go after, but instead he's just like, right, what we doing then?
Yeah, he was like, it was like a minute or two after. She's already gone, who knows how far, and he's like, I should probably go follow her. And Jerry's like, nah, she probably wants time alone. You should just get in there in the shop.
Yeah, Jerry's like, why are you wasting this opportunity? Kate's cleared off. Just go and get with Sharon. So, of course, Cliff, he's back. He's like, yes, I am going to go and get with Sharon. So he walked up to Sharon. And then Jerry, he suggests that they do an outside shoot with her Santa robe open. And Sharon's like, why? He goes, it'll make your nips stand out. And then Cliff agrees. He's like, yeah, let's go and do it. So...
Also, you can tell how different the times are. Not because there isn't still, titty modelling nowadays, But when Cliff comes in and he's like, "Oh, Jerry," just like puts his hand on her thigh, like, "Oh yeah, this is a bit of fun. This is." And I was like, that's full on
It's
sexual
fun.
harassment.
It's fun.
If you're a model.
Well, she likes it. Because you talk about sexual harassment, she now essentially, once she's heard about what the outside shoot will do for her career, she says, "Yeah, okay, then we'll go outside, me and Cliff." And now, now she's really into Cliff. So they go outside on the street to shoot.
He's so attractive.
To shoot this breast scene, and she's like just showing them all off and stuff like this. And Cliff is like, "Are you crazy? What if we get caught?" And then out of nowhere, the cops start coming.
2 coppers.
Cliff, he freaks out,
so
and he says to Sharon, "We got to get out of here. They might think we're a couple of gays."
Yeah. And so he just scarpers and leaves her there, for one thing. But then, like, she's just as much of an idiot as he is, because she just starts running away from the cops as well. And I'm like, as long as you don't open your robe, you're not doing anything wrong. And what has he done to
Why?
I think we're a couple of gays. What, are you going to be arrested?
Why is he worried about being
And they come up
caught
to see you. She's clearly a woman.
as a couple of gays, as he put it,
The whole thing.
as opposed to indecent exposure? He's not even going to get in trouble, is he? Because
That's
he's just
what I just
standing
said,
there.
yeah.
So,
And they're going to realise, like, I'm pretty sure by this point in English history, being gay is not a crime.
no.
And even if it was, by the time the cops got to them to be like, "Oh, let's arrest these gays,"
Yeah, but
they'd realise it's a woman.
If word gets around to
What is he
doing? If
doing?
rumour gets around to Cliff's busking mates that, he was caught with a gay fella outside in Christmas,
It's so stupid.
it's going to ruin his stellar reputation.
Cliff is literally buggered right off. And then Sharon starts running away as well. And the cops kind of try and follow her, but she manages to evade them. And then what do we get?
Well, where she goes into an alleyway, like everyone just goes into an alleyway in this film.
Because that's safer.
I love an alleyway.
Yeah. And who happens to be in this alleyway whilst she's dressed as a Santa Claus? Our killer. Yeah. And this is the first victim that he decides he won't off. Because he opens her Santa robe, got her breasts, her nice tight stomach, little panties, and he's going up and down her body with his knife, and he's just like Leatherface.
Some called that gratuitous and misogynistic and the worst part of the movie.
It kind of is gratuitous and misogynistic.
I loved it.
But I don't think it's the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, but of course, he's a smart killer, isn't he? He's not going to kill this hottie, this model.
Well, I thought maybe he only has a thing, like, for male Santas, but then I'm pretty sure he does off some women at some point. So that kind of put
Not
an end to that one. Not hot Santa.
Not Santa women.
Not slut
Yeah.
Santa.
Once she's spared by the killer, the 2
Yeah.
cops do come and get her, but it's more of like a sympathetic pat on the back and like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we know you got your tits out, but come on, we'll bring you back to the station and question you." But instead of that, next thing you know, she's in bed, and why are they questioning her in bed?
Yeah.
And in walks Mr. Purdom, Inspector Harris, and he sees her in bed, and he does get a bit of gets a shine on, doesn't he? He's suave.
She's pissed off because she's
He's
losing
put
out
together.
on work as well,
But I'm like,
She's got a lot of
one thing,
titty shots.
why have
to
the
get.
coppers taken her to some bedroom and let her just lay in there in her negligee? Secondly, halfway through questioning, why does she just flash the cops? Now, I put it away. Now's not the time for this. Now's not the time.
Yeah,
Maybe afterwards.
She does say something, but it was just completely, like, really... Yeah, very unnecessary. Sleazy. Stupid. But it was there. Yeah. So she doesn't help very much, though.
Sleazy
because
and great.
she doesn't remember much, and turns out the killer has got, like, some mask on, so she can't even describe. All she saw that she remembers to, like, mention is his eyes look like they were smiling.
Well, of course. I mean, ooh. At this point, probably thinks Cliff behind the mask, how excited he was. Just a word on Cliff. He was played by a bloke called Jerry Sundqvist. And this is not a very nice story. But, where we are from, or where you're from, where you grew up, where I worked and stuff, he he had problems, and he threw himself in front of a train at Norbiton Station, which is round the corner from us, and his funeral was held in Kingston. Yeah, and the other guy, Kevin Lloyd, who played Jerry, he was apparently like a raging alcoholic, and was in and out of rehab, and decided to escape rehab, go on the lash, come back, and died on his own vomit. So, but this reminds me of men in, 80s England.
Good old times.
80s England. Yeah, no complaining. Yeah, very sad that.
Oh,
So now, away from sadness to pure joy, because it's peep show time. There's a peep show. And of course, Santa is getting off his shift, an older Santa. He thought, what do I want to do? I've had children sitting on my lap all day. I need to go to the peep show.
Yeah.
Right, so he goes down there, picks up the phone. There's a blonde Sherry on the other side of the perspex, and he picks up the phone, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not the real Santa," kind of thing. Just so she knows.
I thought you were.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't been here before. I've never done anything like this." And she goes, "Well, you can essentially tell me what to do." So she goes, "How about a little dance?" And he's like, "Oh, all right then." So she does a little dance for him, little twirl, and he's like, "Is that it?" I'd have to agree, actually.
Well, no, that's not quite how it was. It's because she's like, "Oh, I don't normally work here. I'm actually a dancer." And he's like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah, do you want to see?" And then he's like, "Is that all?" And she's like, "Well, what do you expect? Flash dance?"
She may be a dancer, but she says that she's filling in for her mother. So her mother would normally be sitting in the booth as the peep show lady.
Her mum owns the place.
So like her mum's like, "I can't do a shift. Hang on, I've got my daughter
in.
You go and do the peep show." So once she dances for him, he's not very happy about that. And he starts saying that, "I want to get beyond the glass and I want you in my lap." She gets a bit like freaked out by that. And then the killer comes and just stabs him in the neck. Stabs in it. So now Sherry has seen the killer.
Yeah.
Even though he's masked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is important to the cops. Now I've written that the cop, Mr. Harris, he comes on to Kate a little bit. He's already come on to Sharon, the girl was being photographed.
We've recently reviewed other films that were from like an older period in time, and we're constantly wondering, like, in this scenario, is this dude coming on to this younger girl? And I'm starting to think that maybe that's just how men acted. I don't know if they were coming on to them or not, if that was just acceptable then.
Oh, this is when we were a proper country. Yeah, so the cop, after coming on to Kate, we find Giles, snooping around the police office, and a cop finds him, and he lets him know, we were mentioning it, Giles, I've been ringing around, there is no Giles at the Daily News. And then that's kind of the end of that for a second. Now we see a bunch of punks on the street who notice a Santa riding a push bike, and of course the punks, they give him a lot of lip, and they start chasing him on his push bike.
Yeah.
They take his push bike while he runs up a wall.
Yeah, you would have thought that you'd be able to escape people on foot on a bike, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
but he's a bit drunk, so I
he
guess...
wasn't pedaling very fast, but
No.
he does manage to evade them while they run off with his bike, but he ends up in the London dungeon.
Yeah!
That was fantastic.
I've been to the London dungeons, and I do not remember all of these...
Well, this is the 1984 London dungeon.
It looks
of course,
a
it would
lot
have been
more
updated and
entertaining.
changed. I mean, yeah, it does look more entertaining because anything goes in 84.
It was very... Yeah, it was cool. That was a good... It was a great setting. The Santa reaction's not so great, because by this point, he knows he's no longer running from the punks. He's now running from the killer. And he's just kind of like slowly shuffling through the London dungeons, being like, "Oh, look at that display," and "Oh, that's a creepy mannequin."
What, you found it unrealistic?
There was no tension. There was no like, "Oh shit, there's a killer right on my heels."
He's in the London dungeon. This is a tourist attraction. Of course he's going to
distract him from the fact that there's someone behind him trying to off him.
But there are, mannequins hiding in the dark, so it could be the killer. You can't just like walk around bumping into mannequins, because it could be the real killer.
And it also just took way too long. They were really milking the London dungeons.
He ends up being stabbed, and now we're on to our next Santa victim. There's a Santa who's a bit drunk, and he's at the kids present handout. Right, so he's been handing out kids presents to the local kids. He walks out into an alleyway, and the killer comes. We notice that now he's got blade boots on. The blade comes out the front of the boot.
Crazy.
And he comes across two Santas, like the present handing out Santa and probably his mate, and he ends up kicking the bloke in the groin.
Yeah.
He kicks the bloke in the groin with his blade,
yeah.
and then he kicks the other one in the face and takes his eye out. That was great.
That was great.
Yeah. And now we're back to
Double
Cliff.
Santa offing.
Cliff in the daytime, he's at like a market and he's playing his flute.
I hated Cliff.
He's playing his flute again, busking. And Kate's there. But Inspector Harris is there. He's already made a play for Kate one time. Now she's with Cliff. Doesn't bother him. He's like, hey, Kate, we never did get to have that catch up in my office.
Yeah. Kate gets his private number and address and all this. Mind you, Cliff doesn't have a leg to stand on after his time at the nudie shoot, does he? So,
well, I just hope that Kate hasn't heard the rumour that he is one of a couple of gays out on the street, because that would just ruin his stellar reputation, as I said. You know, we can't have that, can we? So now we've got the peep show girl, Sherry. She's now being questioned by the cops. Well, she's not too bothered. She just wants to get back to work. I'm like, that is a good, that's some good character for a sex worker. You want them to be keen.
Oh, dear.
No breaks.
Yeah, she's like the only clue that she can really give is that his eyes looked like he was smiling, right?
Schmizing.
And so she's like, I would recognise him if I saw his face. If he was smiling.
If he was smiling, yeah. She does end up, she like cuts the interview short. She does end up going back to work. Unbeknownst to her,
yeah, because
she's followed by the killer.
She refuses her police escort home. Yeah. They tell her, you're in danger. You've seen the killer. But she, like, as you said, she's so keen to make that money.
Well, isn't that sexist to give a woman a male guardian to walk her back to work? Women are strong,
not
free,
back to work, back
and
to her
independent.
Apartment.
Oh yeah, they won't let him go back to work, but she goes back to work anyway. Unbeknownst to her, she's followed by the killer. She gets behind her booth, and the killer comes on the other side, and we don't get to see him, but we do get to hear him.
We see, like, his lower jaw, I think, because he has a very distinctive chin, and this was the moment where I was like, I know exactly who it is.
That's what it took for you to know who it was. Right, okay, good. So the killer's asking Sherry, what goes on here? She's like, well, it's 5 to see me tits, 15 to see me starkers, and 50, anything goes, and your side of the glass is your business. Is that a good pricing?
Well,
hierarchy?
What I thought was the worst part of this pricing was that if he wants to sit there and talk, like wherever the conversation leads, it's free.
It's free, and she'll just do that little 12 for him.
I was like, what? So you're just going to sit there for like 30 minutes with some guy talking to you, and then
she's been put in this position by her mother, her sex worker mother. So if she can get away for the most part just sitting there doing nothing, I'd assume that's what she wants. Yeah. Anyway, the killer, he busts through the perspex or the glass, ends up dragging her down a stairwell and takes her to like some basement and ties her up. And he starts lecturing her. He's like, you're not selling desire. You're selling your soul. And you're going to think about the error of your ways. And then Sherry's like, when I do that, will you let me go? She's like, no, I'm going to kill you. So, it doesn't matter if she thinks about the errors of her ways or not. Now we're at Piccadilly Theatre. Right, very nice setting. But there's another pissed Santa just walking the streets of London. He's looking for a party, and as he's like thrown out of this entrance by some bloke,
stage door.
And as he walks away, he ends up peeping for a second on a woman. So he knows the wrong, so he has a peep for a second in the window.
In the show,
peeps into the window, and he ends up being stalked back into the theatre after coming across the killer. And there's a lady singing on stage. Apparently, she was some kind of pop star.
Okay.
I don't know who it was though.
I have no idea.
No.
I also thought, because they were like, oh, this is a West End show, he's in the stage door, they're going to the stage, but this seemed more like just a pure musical performance. The band were on stage, the singer was there just singing.
It did it like a concert, but I'm just going to take it as a theatre show with an opening musical number.
Right.
And once all the props start moving about and usually the floor starts moving, up pops the Santa and he's been killed. And he ends up on stage and he freaks out the performers. Now we're told about Parkland's mental hospital.
That's it. The housekeeper of the elderly detective, when Kate calls and is like, I really need to talk to him, she says, oh, he's at Parkland's where he goes once a month. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
Now it's time for another Santa to die. So now we've got Santas in a mall. This is an overweight Santa who's gluttonous by the looks of it. He walks into the toilet, goes to what I'm reliably told is a pissoir.
Pissoir.
Right? Gets his knob out, It's going to take a whiz. But out of a cubicle steps the killer with his knife and
Cuts his
chops
dick
off
off.
Santa's dick. If you want to see Santa castrated in a urinal, this is the film for you.
And don't worry, because the blood was so unrealistic that was splattering against the pissoir that it was just comical. But yeah, they went there. They cut Santa's dick off.
They did. So how can it not be number one?
Okay, moving on. So we've had another Santa off. God,
Yeah.
this is not a good day for Santa.
Now the suave cop Harris, director of the movie, Mr. Purdom, he's getting his way with Kate. He lays on the perv charm. Turns out he's been suspended from work. So he invites her to dinner.
Oh, because he refused to put his cops undercover as Santas to be bait.
Yeah. He's taken to a
Whereas
nice
the younger guys
taken
said,
to a
yeah.
nice restaurant. And while she's been wined and dying, Cliff shows up. But he's not allowed in because he's not dressed for the restaurant. We need to bring that back. Because now people are going to
Yeah.
restaurants with like caps, trainers.
I feel the same
vests.
even like to theatre. When I was a kid, I swear it felt like more of an event and you'd get all dressed up in your best and whatnot. Nowadays, you can go to a West End show in your trackies.
It's the downfall of society. Right there. Let's bring it back. So now Giles, he's at Kate's and he's being weird.
He is being weird.
He's revealed himself to being a bit of a weirdo.
And he just got in. Oh, actually, this is a good moment quickly, a brief pause, because you asked me about this time what I thought of the Christmas decorations in her flat. It consisted of a lot of tinsel, very sparse tinsel, by the way. I don't know if 80s England, they just had really crap
The
tinsel.
thinnest tinsel,
Yeah.
We had thin tinsel, it was
Did
shockingly
you?
bad, yeah.
Not good. I'd rather have no tinsel.
Well, we had
than
both,
that
we had thin and
tinsel.
thick.
I like a thick, bushy tinsel.
Once I got older, I learned to just discard all the thin stuff and just use the bushy
it's
stuff.
terrible.
yeah.
But anyway, she's got some tinsel just dangling, so he just hung up on the top of the wall and it just dangles down, and that is the extent of the Christmas decorations.
Well, you've made an effort.
It's no Black Christmas remake.
While Giles is being weird to Kate, he reveals that him and Inspector Harris are brothers. Where'd that come from? And he doesn't like his brother, Inspector Harris, because all he cares about is police work. So he thought he'd give him a real case to solve by going around killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, I think Kate kind of worked it out though, because she found out that the place where the inspector's going is this asylum. She did some research, found out his real name's not his real name. And yeah, all
Doesn't
of
work
this
where he
stuff.
works,
So,
all that crap.
yeah, actually, and this point really shocked me.
What did?
She gets offed.
Yeah, good. Kate gets strangled with tinsel
I thought she was going to be a
and
survivor,
stabbed.
but she doesn't.
Another reason to put it number one. Final girl's not surviving. Then, now he's off Kate, so he's like, right, that's over with. What can I do now? So he goes to a car and he sets an electrical trap for the other cop.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
How did he manage it? It's a bit
Because
like...
the other cop is chasing him by this point, isn't
But it's a
he?
bit like the Jigsaw conundrum. Like, how has he got all this time and money and space to set up all these traps? How has the killer in this been able to, like, right, I'm just going to go and rig this car now to be an electric booby trap?
I'm pretty sure
And
he's
what
using
even
some jumper
happened?
cables again. Jumper cables attached to the actual, and then like the metal in the car conducts it, and the guy gets electrocuted. But we've also still got what's her face in the basement, or are we not there again?
We are here. Sharon, the
Right.
peep show girl, she's in the
Yeah.
basement, and the killer turns up and says, "Oh, I'll put you some food." And it's
Yes.
an apple. Like, that's not food.
Yeah, that
that's
would
just an
seriously
apple.
depress me.
Yeah, and she ends
Being
up
there starving, and then all you get is an apple.
she ends up kind of manipulating him, as killers do get manipulated by the surviving person. A bunch of like crap happens, and she ends up escaping after like getting the key, not getting the key, probably being hit
There's a lot of
around
back and
again.
forth,
Yeah.
But she escapes, and then this is
Well,
when
she
starts running up
throws
the
a
stairwell.
chain at him up the stairwell. Yeah.
She starts running up a stairwell. This is the weirdest stairwell I've ever seen because there doesn't seem to be any like exit doors. It's just a tower stairwell with no doors until you get like 20 stories up, and then there's a set of doors that she can't open.
Up the stairwell, Kate ends up finishing him off. Right. So
Yeah, do you not want to go into details about that though?
you can.
He's come after her with the chains that she used, and obviously he's like trying to smash her, and she's ducking and weaving, and he like does it over the banister. She tugs on the bit under the banister and he topples over.
Yeah, pretty
badass.
imaginative.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, but I mean, she had to get it done quickly. She probably needs to get back to the peep show.
Yeah, she doesn't want to lose money.
Yeah.
My God, she's lost enough already.
Turns out, no, he's not dead. He's not dead.
From like 20
And
stories.
we now get his flashback. We get Giles's flashback, and Santa. You know, he receives a Swiss Army knife from Santa for Christmas.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really the point of this scene, was it? Wasn't
No,
it?
I'm just going to see if you remember what comes up next.
I was a bit confused who was supposed to be who. But he definitely sees a Santa get off with someone,
No,
doesn't
but
he?
we know that Giles is a bit crazy because the first thing he does when he receives this knife is he goes and hacks a bit of the Christmas tree off.
Right.
Right, and then he wanders upstairs.
Yeah.
And what it turns out is he sees his dad
Right.
dressed as Santa shagging some woman.
Right.
He sees this, then his mum comes up and sees him.
Yeah.
And the dad ends up killing his mum.
Yeah, pushes her down the stairs. You're right, that
Kills
was it.
Giles' mum. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why he hates Santa.
And then I was confused because then Harris wakes up in bed. So that must have been Harris's memory being his brother.
Right.
Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Harris wakes up in bed and he wanders into his living room and he finds a present on the table.
That was dropped off a while ago and said...
As he goes to open it, it's a bomb. So
Well, he actually...
what a way to end the movie.
Yeah, he does.
Because
that is the final
Giles
thing,
doesn't
But-
only hook up his cars to be electric death traps, he can also create bombs and have them delivered to his brother's house. Time to go off as soon as he opens
You're
it.
right, actually, because it was delivered days ago with the don't open till Christmas. See what they did there? But yeah, it's directly after he's like opened it. It's a little ballerina music box, by the way, which I was like, oh, that's an odd choice. But okay, he puts it down, sits down in his chair, and then, as you say, explosion and fiend.
A lot of people in this movie are involved with the sex industry. Do you like that? Did it show?
I mean, I don't like it. I don't dislike it.
It was grimy. It was sleazy.
Yes.
Highly enjoyable. #1 movie. Don't open till I want a #2. I want a #3. You know, we can carry this on, but just don't make them like this anymore. What has happened?
What they used to be.
What
What
has
they used to be.
happened? You know, and what is your favourite part of the movie?
Probably the peep show scene.
What one?
The first one.
Right, where he's like, I ain't been here before.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm a dancer. Look at me go.
So yeah, my one is between, Santa castration
That was good.
and just Cliff being worried about being mistaken for a gay.
So stupid.
So this film is excellent on every single level. Now, unfortunately, this is the last festive episode then,
Yeah,
isn't it?
until next year.
Because it's going to be, I don't know, whatever date past Christmas for the next one. So maybe I'll do a New Year's one. Because last year I tried to do End of Days, but I got taken off streaming for like 3 days over New Year and then came back a day after.
Oh.
Yeah.
So all I have to say to you is Merry Christmas.
Santa Claus has got the AIDS this year. That's a real song. It's one of my favourite Christmas songs.